Assalamu alaikum, sisters. If you are tired of feeling guilty because you don't have enough time for deep faith lessons, this episode is for you. We're breaking big ideas down into tiny actions you can start right now. And a huge mashallah to you for just showing up today. Seriously, I know we are all juggling a million things. It is exhausting, right? Anyway, I was listening to Dr. Omar Sulaiman's powerful lecture on raising confident, righteous children, and he painted this beautiful picture of faith passing from parent to child. It was so inspiring. But for a busy Muslimah wife and mum, and I'm right here with you, that inspiration quickly turned into a heavy question. How do I build this deep spirituality when I'm managing school runs, deadlines, and a full kitchen? That's exactly what we're tackling today. We're taking 4 golden nuggets from that talk and translating them into practical, tiny steps. Small wins we can all start with. This isn't about the pressure of perfection. It's just about intention and taking action. Let's begin. Okay, sisters, let's dive into the first golden nugget. The succession mindset. In his talk, Dr. Omar Sulaiman talks about this incredible concept. There is nothing more beautiful than the succession of Islam, from parent to child. Honestly, my eyes rolled a little bit upon hearing that. I thought, this sounds not so me? I found that concept untouchable. Like it's something reserved for the spiritual superheroes or those golden age Muslim families we read about. And immediately I felt this pressure of having to be a perfect parent to manage this kind of legacy. And that's a guilt trip which I don't need. Or so I thought, because the reality is our lives are packed with school runs, work deadlines, and just surviving the evening routine. And so, the big question is, how does succession fit between all these? Me here folding the laundry and trying to get dinner on the table. Suddenly I realized this beautiful truth as I thought to myself, you know what? This succession should not be some huge single event, no. This is not about gathering your children for a grand formal speech. It's the cumulative effect of those 1,000 tiny moments we spend together. Just like a bank account, we don't need to make one massive deposit, right? So it's about the small, consistent deposits of faith you make into your children's hearts every single day. That's what builds the spiritual legacy. So let's try it this way. The one connection rule. Our first little practical step. I challenge you to do this once a day. When you're with your child, maybe in the car waiting for school to start, or during the 5 minutes you spend tucking them into bed, you will consciously connect one everyday event back to Allah. For example, if you see a beautiful flower on your walk, don't just say, pretty. Just say, Subhanallah, look what Allah created for us to enjoy. Again, let's say your toddler shares a toy with his or her sibling. You can say, MashaAllah, that was so kind, and Allah loves kindness. Start somewhere, sister. Don't wait to give any long lectures. No pressure. Just some simple, natural connection. And those, when done consistently, become the strong spiritual chain that connects them to their Creator. Subhanallah. All right, let's jump to the second golden nugget, and this one really hits hard. It's the moment from the Quran where the Prophet Yaqub alayhi salam tells his sons, "O my children, don't die except that you are Muslims." Whew, that is heavy. It's the instruction given on a deathbed, right? It feels so intense, so final, so overwhelming to think that this is the ultimate, non-negotiable goal. When you hear that, you might feel the pressure to become this perfect spiritual leader overnight. But stop. Let's reframe it. What if this isn't just a final instruction, but actually a priority filter for our daily decisions? Think about it. If our number one most important wish is for our children to die loving and living Islam, what kind of choices do we need to make today? Framing it this way forces us to look past the small, fleeting stuff and prioritize what truly matters for their long-term faith. It shifts our focus from simply managing their schedule to actively building their belief. So, here is our second simple step: the priority check question. When you're about to make a big decision about your child's schedule, like signing up for that extracurricular activity, or maybe even deciding on how much time they spend on certain apps, you need to pause and ask yourself this: in the long run, does this activity help or hinder the goal of my child loving and living Islam? Now, this isn't about banning everything fun. Absolutely not. This is about being intentional with our limited family time and energy. If that one activity is eating up so much time that Maghrib prayer is always rushed, or you have no energy left for a halal family movie night, then maybe, just maybe, it's hindering the bigger goal. This question is a tool, sister. It gives you the confidence to say no to the good things, so you can say yes to the best things for their akhirah, afterlife. All right, on to the third golden nugget, and this is the one that gives us all the major mum guilt. Dr. Sulaiman talks about a prophet's life that perfectly matched their dua, that the children witnessed his worship and saw no speck of hypocrisy. Oh, subhanallah, the pressure. When I hear that, my immediate thought is, how can I be a perfect example? I'm full of flaws and mistakes. My kids see me get angry. They see me struggle to pray right on time sometimes. I honestly feel like I'm failing this huge spiritual test. Can you relate to that feeling? Here is the secret. Sincerity isn't about being perfect. It's about being transparent in your striving. When our children see us make a mistake and then immediately run to make tawbah, repent, they are actually learning a more powerful lesson. They are learning about Allah's mercy, Ar-Rahman. When they see you stop what you're doing to prioritize salah, even when you're totally exhausted, they learn about its true importance, not just as a chore. Your effort, your struggle, and your return to Allah, that is the real example. So, here is our third, tiny, practical step. Vocalize your struggle. The next time you're facing a common Muslimah challenge, say it out loud in an age-appropriate way. Maybe you hit snooze one too many times. Try saying, Ummi was so tired this morning, but I made dua for Allah to help me get up and pray Fajr, because it makes him happy. Maybe you lost your temper. Quickly apologize and say, I'm sorry I raised my voice, Habibti. That was not okay. I'm making dua for Allah to help me be more patient next time. When you do this, you show them a living, breathing, imperfect, but sincere relationship with Allah. You teach them that faith is about constantly dusting ourselves off and trying again. And that is the most beautiful legacy you can pass on. And sisters, here comes our fourth and final golden nugget. And honestly, this is the biggest challenge we face. Dr. Sulaiman talks about the need to deal with competing environments, make Islam the number one priority, and ensure the kids see no hypocrisy. This is where the world gets loud. School, YouTube, social media. It's all designed to pull them away. It feels impossible. How is my quiet home supposed to compete with that kind of noise and excitement? It feels like a losing battle, right? But listen, we cannot control the entire environment. That is a truth we have to accept. What we can control is curating a strong home culture that acts as an anchor for their hearts. Our home should be the place where the beauty of Islam is felt the most strongly, not through strict rules, but through our atmosphere, our routines, and our loving interactions. When the outside world gets shaky, their internal anchor, their home, needs to be rock solid. So, here is our final mini practical step. Create an Islamic soundscape. Let's be intentional about what's playing in the background. Instead of the news or random music that doesn't serve our goals, let's substitute it with the remembrance of Allah. I challenge you to play a Quran recitation or soothing nasheeds for at least an hour a day. This could be during drive time on the way to school, dinner prep in the kitchen, quiet time after Asr prayer. This practice is powerful because it subtly fills the environment with the remembrance of Allah, dhikr, without you having to say a word. It makes the deen the natural, comfortable rhythm of their daily life, helping their hearts anchor to home, insha'Allah. So there we have it, sisters. 4 huge concepts from the prophets, broken down into 4 tiny steps we can start right now. We talked about making those small daily deposits with the one connection rule. We set our GPS with the priority check question. We took the pressure off by vocalizing our struggles to show our kids Allah's mercy. And we anchored our home with that powerful Islamic soundscape. Look, we are not building a dynasty in a day. Absolutely not. We are simply laying one brick of faith at a time, with intention. Don't feel you have to do all 4 this week. Pick just one to start with, the one that resonated the most with you, and tell me in the comments which one you're choosing. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us among those whose spiritual legacy is a source of sadaqah jariyah, ongoing charity, for us and for our children. Ameen. Thank you so much for joining me today. Assalamu alaikum.
هل لك سر عند الله بينك أنت وبين الله هل لك صدقات تخفى لا يعلمها إلا الله قصص لا تكشف إلا بكتابك